Tommy Best, and you're listening to today's Boondoggle.
This is Mark Metcalf, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio.
You are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio. Yes, Kato Kalin listens to this all the time.
Welcome to today's Boondoggle. Now here's your host.
What's going on, everybody? It's Bill Bailey with today's Boondoggle, and I'm really excited for this conversation I'm about to have here with Mr. Sam McCartney. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Yeah, as we were talking a little bit before we went on, we met at Incarceration in like the media lounge, and then finding out, about your band, but also finding out that you're a Marine, man. I was just like, all right, I gotta get you on the show. So I was glad we got your information so we can make this happen. But what's that? Did you hear that? There was some sort of like static or something.
Static? No.
Yeah, I don't know if it was. Are you using earbuds or whatever, or AirPods or whatever?
Yep.
Okay. Sometimes there's issues with that, so I don't know.
So far, so.
So yeah, usually when I have somebody on for the first time, I like to get a quick background. So do you remember what you originally wanted to be when you grew up?
I think when I was a kid, I wanted to be a canine police officer.
Nice.
Just love dogs.
Oh yeah, they're awesome. I have one laying upstairs right now. It's been my best friend ever since my last deployment.
What kind?
Shepherd Rottweiler mix.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
I have a German Shepherd, all black German Shepherd, and I have a Rottweiler Husky. She's laying right behind me. And then I got a hound dog.
Nice. Yeah, he started off as like a service dog for me. I got him through this group called Wags for Warriors.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
after they're no longer I guess around, but after many years of working with him as a service dog, and just he became a family dog, and still he helped me through so much.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the whole reason that we got my German Shepherd, and I went to Wags for Warriors to see if they could do the service dog thing, and then I went on to call them, and they said go online, and then I went online, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not doing applications." So that was like end of COVID, so that probably had something to do with it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they're not around anymore. But great organization, man. They opened up so many doors for me. But yeah, speaking of veteran related stuff, when was it that you wanted to do the police officer thing, the dog trainer there, but when did the military become something on your radar that you were interested in?
Well, I was in high school, and I was going to a public safety course, and then I was like, yeah, this is cool, but not really. Like, I don't like all this paperwork bull crap, and I was not a fan. So then I started looking out into like different branches, and then I was like, maybe I'll do the Army. And then I was like, no. And then we had a Marine recruiter come in, and my buddy had already did the Pool E program, and he came in, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's what I want to do right there. And he started talking about it, and I was like, yep.
Nice. And then I see on what you sent me that so you joined in 2012 you first went into the Marines?
Yep, 2012.
Nice. I retired from the Navy in 2012, so shows the big gap in age difference there. But what what area did you grow up at? Like, what was high school and everything like? What were you into?
Okay, so I was born in Ellet, and then when I was like 2, we moved to Stowe, and then I lived there until I was about 5, and then we moved back to Ellet, and I did all Ellet through elementary to 6th grade, 6th grade, we moved to Norton, and Norton is where I completed high school.
Okay, all right, nice. So another Ohio guy.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm up here in Brook Park, right by
Right by
Cleveland.
the VA.
What's that?
Right by the VA?
Yeah, the Parma one.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and right by where they're fighting over this dome stadium we're supposed to get for the Browns.
Oh, yeah. As well.
But like coming, from growing up and then finishing high school in Norton, and then going into like the Marine Corps, what were some of the oddest things you experienced or witnessed coming from that world into the Marines?
So like some of the wildest weird things in the Marines.
Yeah, like something. I mean, you had your upbringing, and life at Norton High School and stuff, and then all of a sudden you're just like, what are we doing? What were like some of the culture shocks for you and going in the Marine Corps?
One of the main ones was just like the structure and the discipline and the intensity of that discipline. Like it was such a culture shock just being like, because I'm a very orderly kind. I like things when they're supposed to happen, you know what I mean? And the Marine Corps is so intense about that. And if things don't go the way they want, it's like, oh, you're gonna pay for that. Yep, you're gonna learn it. So I mean, that was like the initial, but then just seeing all different walks of life come together and be training together and becoming brothers. That was kind of like one of the main things that was kind of foreign to me. And I was just like, wow, this is awesome. Because there's like a bond that's just so deep instilled in you that those are your brothers. And yeah.
Nice. And then, during your time in, like what were, what was probably one of your favorite places that you got to serve at?
Favorite, man. Okay. I went on 2 deployments. First one was Afghanistan. That was cool in the sense of that's exactly why I signed up. Like I wanted to go there. So like that was cool in that sense. And I got to actually serve and do my thing there. But then as far as like cool places, I guess that would be on my second deployment, which was a MEU. And you know all about the MEUs, the big ships. And we got to stop at a bunch of different countries like Thailand, Oman, Africa. Yeah. Oh, and we got to train in Hawaii.
Nice.
And you know that scene from Titanic where Jack is like smoking a cigarette and just looking up at the stars?
Yeah.
I literally did that exact same thing. I went up on top of the ship, smoked the cigarette. I was just looking out at and you could see like all of them. And I would look out into the ocean and there was just pulses of electromagnetic fields from jellyfish. And it was just like the coolest thing.
Nice. Yeah, I remember being on the aircraft carrier and it's just like, when you're out like away from all the light pollution and stuff and you can see like you said, everything. You can see satellites, everything.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And then since transitioning out of all that, that camaraderie you were talking about and discipline and everything, what are some of the things that like I guess I'll just say pet peeve with civilians since transitioning out?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Like in the Marine Corps, you have a problem with one of your boots or whatever, you could just run up to them, freaking knife hand them, scream them, tell them to fix themselves, essentially, and carry on with the plan of the day. Here, it's like, you can't really do that. And just seeing how, like, I guess selfish people are, just being out in the world, on the road, or everywhere, just the people just, it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. We live in, I look back in all my years of like, and I still get caught up in it myself, even being in recovery and all the time things I learned in the military, but it's like, I can still be selfish and self-centered a lot of times too,
Right.
So it's like I try and with one of the recent conversations I had with a veteran, it was just like, I'm trying to learn how to extend more grace because they don't know what they don't know. But a lot of times it's hard, it's very hard,
Yeah.
because it's like common sense. Where is that,
Common sense is not a common virtue.
Yeah, exactly. And then what is something that you feel you'll always carry with you from your time of service?
The memories and experiences and just life situations that I know how to deal with and carry that on in the civilian world for CivDiv. Just, yeah. So, I mean, heck, there's my Marine shelf right there behind us.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Got the fun stuff.
Yeah, behind my green screen over here is my Navy wall.
Nice.
And then like what's like what during your time, what's probably one of the funniest stories you feel you can share?
All right, there's two for sure hilarious ones. One, so in 2013 to 14, it was Christmas time, and I think we were in the northern Helmand province, and we were going from Shugvani to Camp Leatherneck, I think, for like a convoy. We were tearing down a lot of stuff, and one of my seniors was up in the gunner's turret, and I'm just sitting down here, and he's got a Santa Claus hat on his Kevlar, and these kids, when the kids get out in the road, that's a problem. Like, you can't have that. They come up one chocolate, or whatever from your MREs. But so we're like, no, we can't stop this convoy. Like, everybody's going. So my buddy, Santa Claus hat on, Christmas time, headphones in. He's just up there with one of them wrist rocket slingshots with a bag of like fireballs and lemon heads. And he's just up there singing, Santa Claus is coming to town, getting these kids out of the way. Like, so funny. And then during the same deployment, we had like a little morale boosting day, and we did a play just right there in Shugvani, in front of our barbed wire Christmas tree. And we reenacted 300. And everybody got assigned certain characters. And one of my buddies, Nathan Banks, who's also here in Ohio, he was the freaking dude who couldn't lift his shield up, that guy.
Yeah.
And it's just throughout the rest of the deployment ever since that. He's like, and then my shield. And he just kept doing that the whole time. And then I was one of the Oracle, like the chick that dances. So I found toilet paper and was just swirling around. Like, that was so funny. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, the things we do for entertainment over there, man, to just keep sane,
Yep.
And then like what would you say is like one of your greatest hopes for the country you've been willing to give your life for?
Greatest hopes. Get their stuff together. Quit complaining, because they don't know how good they have it here. And I've been to many different countries here. They have no idea how good they have it. So stop arguing and fighting about the littlest, stupidest stuff. Oh my gosh, political correctness and all that bullcrap. Like, stop being stupid. Just love each other. And like, that's it. Love your neighbor.
Yeah. Keep it simple, man. We
Right.
overcomplicate things for sure.
Yep.
And then like you were saying, it's like that you weren't used to that camaraderie, that brotherhood, people from all walks of life, and you come together, and you knew you could count on that person, your left and your right,
Right.
And then I mean, one of the hardest things for me is what was getting back into the real world, and then thinking I have that still, and then having to find out, get like, the rude awakening that, yeah, not everybody has my back. Like, like
Right.
there, you know?
Absolutely. And I don't know about you, but I've gone out of my way to kind of find that. And so I'm always joining I'm part of something. I'm in my
Yeah.
band. I got my brothers in my band. I'm a part of a motorcycle club, which we have a lot of veterans in. So that's cool. I'm a tattoo artist. So I got that family. Like I just have different areas of family, my church family. And, so you always kind of still look for that. And Marines specifically, every Marine Corps birthday, we get together and we do stuff together. And it's just really cool being to stay into contact with those guys and meet up every Marine Corps birthday, carry on the same things. Like yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had the last few years of my service, a lot of it was reserves. There used to be like right across the street from the Rock Hall. It's now like Coast Guard owns it, but there used to be like a Navy Reserve Center there. So there was just something altogether different of like, I mean, you make a lot of friends on active duty, and then you keep in touch with those people along the way, or you try to, but
Right.
it's something different when you're drilling every weekend with local people. And then you go and do, annual training, or you get deployed together, but then all these people live in your neighborhood. So even if it's not drill weekend, you get together with them, and man, it's like, I've lost some really close guys to cancer and other stuff, man. And it really hits different, because then I guess, I don't know. It's hard to explain it, but it's just like, it definitely feels like a much bigger loss, like one less person that has your back,
Right.
And
Puzzle picture.
yeah,
Takes a piece out.
yep, exactly. That's a good analogy right there, man. And then I guess kind of along the same lines, like, what do you feel we can do to break the stigma of PTSD and mental health?
That's a tough one. I got PTSD. I'm bipolar, anxiety, depression. I don't know. Just it goes back. Be kind to one another. Listen to one another. If somebody's telling you they're feeling away, you don't necessarily have to understand what they're going through, but it's good to just be there for those people, especially if they're close to you. Like I compare myself to like a dog. I don't necessarily have the right words to say or right whatever, but I will sit there right next to you, and then we can figure it out.
Yeah, no, I like that, man. And then as you were saying, like you did your time, you come back home. Like, what was the transition like? What's the transition been like for you? I know you used your GI Bill, and then you went to let's talk about a little bit when you used your GI Bill and went to like school out in LA and stuff.
Okay. So the transition was definitely different. Luckily, while I was out in Camp Pendleton, I had joined the music scene during like my last years of being in. And so I got the kind of relationship, got to be close with some of the people. And then I joined my band, who was all Marines when we first started, except for the bass player. And that was really cool. So I always had them, like, especially right when I got out, and they all went to Musicians Institute. So that's where I went first. So I had that kind of group to be with me, ran into other veterans who we kind of just knew each other. And, I mean, it was different getting out because, I mean, kind of like I was saying earlier, somebody does something stupid, you just can't go up and knife hand them or whatever, you got,
Yeah.
I can get in trouble for this. Okay. Breathe. But yeah, it's a good gradual process. Like, just everything went smooth. It was a good transition.
And what was the Musicians Institute like? What did you learn there?
So I went there for the vocal program. because I'd always been able to sing, but not like the best. And I was always able to scream. Like screaming, I was fine. But I wanted to kind of learn more about the singing aspect. So I did like music theory classes and all this crazy stuff where I'd have to learn 2 songs a week to perform them that same week, and learning different notes and whatnot. But it was challenging, but it was also kind of easy for me too, in the same way.
Nice. And then, so you're out there, you're going to school, you kind of, I mean, I guess that would be like kind of another like culture shock in a way, coming from Ohio and then doing your time in the Marines and then getting involved in the LA music scene. Like, what was that? What were some of the odd things you experienced in that?
Odd things in the music scene. I don't know, man. Just hanging out with everybody on every different weekend is just kind of an experience in and of itself. Like, there's been plenty of times where I definitely should have been arrested. You mix like metal and the Marines, and it's just like, I remember, I think it was like right off of Sunset Boulevard, and we went to a place right off the strip called Loaded, and it was like kind of like hard rock metal bar place, and we got loaded there. And I remember I was like blacking out and freaking walking on cars and whatnot, dude. I was wrecked. And yeah, there's just different little stories like that where it's just funny stuff.
Yeah.
Not never really harmful, but just some very interesting stories.
And then, then you came back to Ohio, worked for Ford. Like, was what kind of brought you back? Was there something that where you're just like, you were done with school and wanted to come back home, or?
Yeah. So after that, I went to Los Angeles Film School, wanted to get something more hands-on. And then I was like, music production is what I went for. And I was like, this is not clicking with me. Like, I need to get out of this real quick. It was fun though. Like, I had a great time. So then I went to massage school, and then I was doing that. That's where I met my wife, because my buddy and I, he was in the Navy. Him and I were like, dude, we need to do something like hands-on. We can like graduate and actually do stuff, So we both went together, and then got out, graduated, and then I met my wife. And then I was like, hey, I'm moving back to Ohio because I need to be with my family. It's been way too long, because I went straight from Marine Corps to staying out there for however many years. I was like, it's time for me to go back. And then I was like, so either we're done, or you're going to come or whatever. And she was like, yep, I'll be there. I was like, oh, okay. So then I came back, she finished massage school, and then I was doing a little bit of massage, but it's not me. Like,
yeah.
I did it, but it didn't feel like me. And then, the main reason was my grandparents, which I'm very happy that I came back when I did, because I got to spend the last years of their life with them, because they're all dead now. So that I'm glad that I came back when I did.
Oh, that's great, man. And then, when did tattooing become a thing for you?
So tattooing, so I'd been like an artist my whole life. I would always draw. I used to get in trouble for drawing in school, because, fun fact, it actually helped me listen better. Everywhere I went, I was an artist. I did stuff for the police station. I did a shirt design for them. I was the artist recruit in boot camp. I did our shirt design in Afghanistan that never got made, but I made it. Everywhere. So then I had always loved getting tattoos, and I just loved looking at tattoos. And like Mitch Lucker from Suicide Silence was probably like one of my main influences, and dude was just covered. So, all right, here's a little fun story. As I was getting out, so at this point, me getting out of the Marines, I was just done with it. I'm like, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. And I found Mitch Lucker's tattoo artist, and I had set an appointment for Saturday. And during that time, I knew we had football PT on Friday. So during football PT, I played it off like I sprained my hand, like my wrist or whatever. And then that Saturday, I went and got this done. And
Nice.
then showed up on Monday with like a little wrist brace thing. And then went in to S4, signed my DD 214. I was like, we're good. He's like, yep, you're good. And then I ripped it off and I was like, deuces. So
Yeah, because I know the Marines were a lot more strict than the Navy when it came to tattoos.
oh yeah.
Remember that?
And so kind of that was my staple of I'm never going to work for anywhere that could tell me what to do again. So that I made that a point. So then I work at Ford and I'm like, yeah, I don't like this 9-to-5 structure bullcrap. Not for me. I don't like being told what to do. Like the Marine Corps definitely instilled that in me. I was like, I'm done being told what to do. So I was like, what do I do? I mean, I love tattooing. Oh, and I did a few barracks tattoos while I was in the Marines. I had no idea what I was doing, and I ordered it off Amazon. Horrible, but it was a good time. It was fun. And so then COVID hit, and I requested to get laid off. And then I did, and I got that unemployment. So during the unemployment, I was like, all right, this is the time. If I'm going to be a tattoo artist, this is it. So I start working on my portfolio, just grinding, learning as much as I can. And then stuff started opening up again. And then I just went from shop to shop to shop, showing my portfolio, getting told no. And then finally, I got a yes. Got my apprenticeship, completed it in just under a year. And then, yeah, here we are.
Nice. Where do you work out of then?
I work out of Broken Arrow. It's like right on the line of Cuyahoga Falls and Stowe.
Okay. I think I've driven over there before. Driven past there. My girlfriend's from Cuyahoga Falls, so I was spending a lot of time out that way. You know.
Yep.
So nice. And then let's talk about I mean, you've always been a singer. You said you've been good at screaming. You went to the Music Institute to learn how to sing better. Got involved in some bands out there, but when did Killstreak come together for you?
So Killstreak, after, Killstreak came together 2021, I think. And that had been just me being this huge hiatus because my old band, Born for War, we played, our first show was Battle of the Bands to play Knotfest, and we won. And we played Knotfest in 2015, and that was freaking nuts. And then
Nice.
I just did like a handful of shows and just lost members, did the production, music recording and stuff, and then just kind of fell apart. But so then I would just do features for all these different bands, and just to kind of get that fix, I guess, and it was great. And it made me stay in the scene and remain relevant. But then I came back here and I was like, man, I have to do this like all over again. And I'm just waiting for like the right opportunity. So then I'm working on my own music with a dude from New York who's like making the instrumentals, and I still have him. I haven't done anything with him yet. And then my Brianna, my wife, ended up massaging this dude named Ryan. And he was like, hey, I'm looking for members of the band. Here's my card. And then I got that, and I seen the card. I was like, all right, whatever, dude. Like, this, no. And then same thing, massaged him again. Gave me another card. I was like, whatever, I'll go over, hang out. So I went over, and then we just clicked right away. We were on the same page musically, and we liked the same stuff. He was like a DJ EDM kind of guy before, and had project he never really got to do anything with called Killstreak. And I was like, oh, that's sick. And then me, I was really into Ice Nine Kills at the time. And as you know them, they make songs about horror. And I was like, what if we did kind of like the same thing they do with horror, but video games? Like, nobody's done that yet. Like, there's been bands who make songs, a song about a video game or an album about a video game, but there's never been just a video game band. So let's do that and use that name that you had. And he's like, yes. So, and then from there, everything just clicked and fell into place.
Nice, nice. And then, you know, you mentioned meeting your wife out there at Mossad school and coming back home, and you became a dad.
Mm-hmm.
You had a father of a daughter, and with another one on the way, you're saying?
Yep.
And you know it's a girl as well?
Yep. I'm a girl dad, I guess.
All right, brother. Join the club. Me too. I got 2 daughters. What a life-changing thing, man. You know? It's definitely, I guess God looked at it like, you know, because I was always a slow learner being in the Navy, you know, and everything. And just, I guess maybe my conduct, you know, with women back in the day, you know, wasn't always, you know, how it should have been, you know. And then I have a daughter, you know, and I'm just like, wow, this is this is incredible. I don't know. And then, but still trying to be a better man. And then, you know, it's like me and their mom, you know, things never kind of didn't work out, especially after my last deployment. It just kind of, you know, ended for multiple reasons. A lot of it was me. You know, I take responsibility for it today. I mean, I'm 16 years sober now. I still screw up sober, but I'm like, you know, I'm learning. It's progress, not perfection, you know?
Right.
But yeah, you know, trying to do the right thing and be the right kind of man today, and daughters will help you grow up and become the right man right away, man.
Yep. Yeah, I'm learning that. I mean, I was definitely kind of similar route. I was bad drinking. Like, now I'm chill, very chill. But back when she was like born, I was kind of going out of control, just spiraling and just not mentally doing well. And then my daughter was born, and it was just like a light bulb came on. And then I was like,
Yeah.
And now I have another one. So
yeah. And it's like, all right, man, I gotta keep focused, and you know, it's a whole new world out there, man. So it's like you got to be the sheepdog, you know.
Yep.
For sure. And then you know, as you're going through that change, like, you know, becoming a dad and being a family man and stuff, like we were talking a little bit before we went on about your recent mission trip. You mind sharing a little bit about your spiritual journey?
Sure. So 2 years ago, we went on a mission trip to Guatemala, Hope of Life Foundation, and we went down there, built a house, painted a school, went and painted something on the canasta building, which is something that they do. They make canastas, which are like baskets or purses or whatever, out of recycled material, and they use that money to pay for their education. So we got to help spruce that up and spend time with the kids, spend time with the elderly. And then this time, my buddy Josh, him and I got to lead this trip. And this kind of is where the military, I'm glad that I have in my background, because it made it just so much easier to lead and know how to get stuff done. But again, same thing. I couldn't yell. I couldn't do any of that stuff. So I had to keep Jesus in the front of my mind.
Yeah, yeah.
But luckily, I mean, everything went so smooth, and we kind of did the same thing. We built another house. We painted the side of a church. We spent time with these kids, disabled kids and elderly people who just been like abandoned, like left for dead, like literally left for dead. And like on the side of the road or in a house, just, it's horrible. Getting to hang out with them, we got to do like vacation Bible school with the kids, and that my heart got melted, because last time I was like, I don't know how kids are gonna take me, you know, looking how I look, and they're not like American kids, dude. These kids are so thankful for everything that they have, and it's so like, dude, they give them a stick and they're like, they're so happy. And one girl named Fatima, and she really melted my heart last time. So then this time we went into the church, and I was like, where's Fatima at? And before you know it, she's just running right at me with a big hug, smiling. And her and another one are my Guatemalan daughters. So it was really cool to like grow that relationship. I actually have in my Bible right there pictures, handwritten things, bracelets that they made for me, handmade. Like, they're just so full of love and for what little they have. And it's just so good. And God, oh my gosh, he was God. He pulled everything together, and he guided everyone, and it was just perfect. Everything went so smooth.
Dude, that's so beautiful, man. I know, I mean, for me, like, I was raised Catholic. I did the altar boy thing and all the, First Communion and confirmation and all that stuff. But at that time as a kid, it was just like, I was doing it for somebody else. I was doing it for my parents because they wanted me to and whatever. And I never really felt that connection. So then I just went, and I didn't have a real understanding of who God was in my life then. To me, it was just like very strict and punishing and stuff like that. So then, when I went into the military, I was just like, man, all my friends that I guess are going to end up in hell are having a blast. So I might as well, whatever. And I kind of just like went the other way for a number of years. I mean, yeah, I was still serving, but you can get away with a lot if you know the right people. Even in the military, you might shine up and look good on the outside, but inside you could still be like like an empty tomb, I guess. Like they say in the Bible. But
like whitewashed tombs.
Yeah, and when I went on this last deployment, it was different because I was deployed before when I was young, had no kids, and when I witnessed like traumatic things, I numbed through alcohol and sex and, all kinds of things that, weren't really the best for me, weren't good for me. And on this last deployment, like I said, I had my daughters at home. So things were a little different. I went over there still kind of like a mess, but I was like, man, I got to come home because I got people that I got to, before it's like, you're kind of like live a little bit more dangerously when you don't have any, when it's just you, right. But then when you have people dependent on you, man, it was a different thing. And I seen like, I was over there in a dry country, I was mostly in Kuwait, but I remember seeing a couple angel flights, and then it got me reflecting like, man, if that's me, what are my kids going to remember of me? Am I the type of man I need to be, for my daughters? I haven't been a good man to their mom, so it's like the seeds were planted. And then I come home and it's like, I don't know if you remember Peabody's.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, Peabody's was like a second home to me. And they had like a welcome home party for me there, and like 2 and 6 played and everything. And it was like, that was my last blackout, man. I came home and it was supposed to be like, yay, you served. And, like, it's so cool, and whatever. And I'm up there like drunk, not remembering anything, just like blacking out, sick for days afterwards. I remember waking up and my daughter, my oldest, was 8 at the time. And she like made me pinky swear that I wouldn't, be like that anymore. And that kind of planted the seed. And then it's like a family member had a health issue, was pregnant and had cancer and lost the baby to treat the cancer. Oh. And they had a little like service for it at their church. And I went there and, I was just there to just show face, just to, show my support. I wasn't looking for anything, man, but it was like that pastor at the time, man, it was like there was nobody else there, and he was talking right to me, man. And it's just like,
Yep.
it broke me down. It melted my heart, like you were saying that little girl did, man. And so I'm crying, and then it's like, then my family's like, talk to the pastor, and I talked to him, and and it's just like I end up giving my life to Christ there. And then I was like, man, I need help, So they referred me to my church, because they had like recovery groups there and stuff. And then I started that process, and, been sober 16 years now. Dude, all the drugs and everything I would chase back in the day for that high, there was nothing like that spiritual high when I first got like saved,
Oh yeah.
And it was it was just incredible. But then, it's like, if you don't keep feeding it, it's not going to keep feeding you. And I last few years, there's been like a I don't know, I haven't been feeding it, I'm still staying sober, and I'm going to meetings, but I was still trying to figure out, like, who is God, like, who's my version of God? Like, in recovery, it's just like, a higher power of your understanding. And it's like, well, Jesus is my God, but trying to, years of having, like, how you were raised, and then trying to, there's always been like a little bit of a conflict, like, okay, so I've been kind of on like a mission, just reflecting, or just, I don't know, like, I'm still a believer. I just need to talk to, I need to lean on, like, back then I was like really like struggling and hurt at the beginning. And then I just got complacent, I think. And I know when I was like flat on my face crying out to God, he was there. So I guess I got to get flat on my face and cry some more or something, because there's a disconnect, and he didn't put it there. Obviously I put it there, but I'm, but then conversations like this get me reflecting and thinking. And that's been my journey, and the girl I'm involved with now, I mean, she's a more diehard Catholic, but she's got a great relationship with God. And I could, it doesn't matter like what name, I guess, you throw on the Christianity or whatever. It's about you and God, man,
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get back to where I need to be with that, because my ego likes to get in the way. I always think I know better than God does.
That's a Bible verse. God rejects the proud and embraces the humble.
Yeah. And so when I hear about like what you were saying, that whole experience, and how they're not like kids here in the United States, they're happy, they're grateful for everything. And I've been trying to get back into like doing daily gratitude lists, and just thanking God for all the things that, hey, the power's working right now, so we can do this interview, though I got Wi-Fi, so we can have this conversation or whatever, and I'm grateful for that, not taking stuff for granted anymore. So I don't know, I didn't mean to get on like a soapbox, but just like hearing your story got me thinking, and that's part of why I do this podcast. This is part of my like healing for my like anxiety and PTSD, but also, it's healing for, maybe that spiritual disconnect I need to work on. And while I'm saying all this, hopefully it's healing to a listener out there, or somebody that's probably going through the same thing and needs to hear it. That's what I pray for. I pray that God uses these interviews and conversations to help somebody else out there,
Oh, absolutely. That's part of my kind of my testimony, and what I do, is you've heard of like a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
I try to take on a sheep in wolf's clothing. So that's like my whole neck tattoo right here.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Because on the outward appearance, you'd be like, that guy's not a Christian. And then I'm a metal musician, a tattoo artist, motorcycle club, Marine. Don't expect it. So I get to go into all the places and speak to people and relate to them. And I feel like God uses anything that he can.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful, man. That's why I like that's why sometimes I guess me and my girlfriend are like, because she loves the Catholic Mass, and it's been cool because she brought, we go and meet my mom at the church I grew up in, and I know it means a lot to my mom for me to be there with her for service, but it's like the church that I got like saved at, and then the church that I, got recovery through is like more of like a missionary alliance type church, and I like those services better. I feel like I get a connect, and I feel like, but she doesn't so much. So it's like I'm just trying to, wherever I go, right now this could be church, we could be talking to God right here, so it's like I'm trying to not like, I don't know. I've been to a lot of different things, and like you were saying, like being, I some of the ones that seem to be the most loving and welcoming that I enjoy are the ones that welcome guys like us with the tattoos and and everything like that. And sometimes I and maybe it's like my old bitterness or resentment or something from bad things that happened, I guess, or bad interactions I had in the Catholic Church, that I need to let go of, but I don't think we'd be as welcome as much. I don't know,
Yeah, I'll touch on that real quick. First, I would say just get in the Word. Get a nice, you get the King James, whatever. I read an NIV, so that's like just, it takes out the these and the thous, same thing, just more able. And I have a Bible that it'll have the verses and the chapters, and then below that, it'll explain what it's actually talking about. Now, as far as so I'd recommend doing that. Pray to God, ask Him to guide you. And I'm saying this not only to you, but anybody else that might watch this. My pastor would say, don't get caught in the weeds. And what I mean by that is, don't get so caught up in all the works of what you have to do. I'm not trying to diss on any denomination, but a lot of denominations say you have to do this and this and this and this and this, and that's not in the Bible. So get in the Word, find a biblically I prefer non-denominational. That's what I go to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been really awesome. My pastor, I know you like Marvel. I see the Captain America and Deadpool. Literally, my pastor, one of the first messages I walked in seeing, he played 2 clips. One was Thor, and it was the part where he said Asgard is a people, not a place, just like the church is a people, not a place. And then he also brought up that scene where Iron Man and Spider-Man thought he could save the ship, and Iron Man shows up and he's like, if you even cared, you'd be here. And then Iron Man walks out of the suit, and he just relates modern stuff to biblical teaching. And it's really cool to just find a good church that you get it. You can feel God working through that and speaking to you. And another thing, to kind of touch on your church hurt, because I had that too, is that one, that's people. That's not Jesus. Look at what Jesus says. This is what we follow. We don't follow what the people up there say, unless they're speaking exactly what Jesus said. And 2 is, you don't go to a church to find perfect people. You don't go to a hospital to find healthy people. You find sick people there that need help. Same thing with a church. You go there with people who are just a mess and they need someone to help them out.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. Have you ever been to the heavy metal church in what is it, Canton
I've heard about it, and
or
no,
Dayton?
yeah,
Dayton.
I think it's Dayton.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've wanted to check it out because that sounds super cool.
yeah. I actually had that pastor on here, and it was funny because it was like I think my youngest daughter had just I took her to like Indiana, I think, for a jujitsu competition she was in, and as we were coming back, we stayed the night at a hotel in Dayton, and then I remember seeing like something on YouTube or whatever about that, So I was just like, hey, while we're here, why don't we get up and go check this out? We went and we both loved it. It was awesome, and it was like
So cool.
people like us, man. I could see, Killstreak doing a gig there. He'd probably be all about it,
Oh, just fun fact, I don't cuss in any of my songs for that reason.
Nice.
So we might be able to.
One of my favorite bands, like when I first got saved, I was like, at first I was like conflicted, like, oh, am I going to be able to go to, stuff like incarceration anymore? Am I going to be so first I was like, almost like I became a little legalistic, but I was like, I went to a live fest and stuff, and I was like, okay, there's Skillet, there's Red and stuff. I'm like, okay, maybe I can do this. This should be cool. And then I got hip to For Today, and they were like one of my all-time like favorites still to this day, man.
I got a hat signed by all of them in my closet right there.
Oh, nice. And after and now I realize as you do as well, we can still walk and go to those places. It's just how much of the armor are we wearing when we go in there, and we got to remember what we're there for. So
and I mean, I'm not gonna act like it's some easy walk in the park either, though, too, because you have that in your mind, but then you get distracted by a lot of things, and you're just like, nope, no.
Yeah. Yeah, especially at Ink, man. And I don't know, man. It's like back in the day before I was like saved, me and a bunch of friends like did an overnight there in that prison, and there's some stuff there, man. You feel it, and I was feeling it this last time. I like ended up leaving early on Sunday, because I ended up having a family emergency too anyway. But I was like over it on Saturday. I was just feeling like I was there surrounded by so many people, but then I was just had this overwhelming like feeling of like being alone and depressed,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I obviously I wasn't, armored up for it, but yeah, man, I love this conversation, man. This is things have me reflecting on other things I need to be consistent about. Like you said, being in the Word. Like I get in my big book for my recovery and work with my sponsor and stuff to stay sober, but I need to get in my Bible. That should be my main big book to keep that relationship with God bright,
Yeah, it helps a lot.
Well, hey, we're almost at an hour here, so it's like I want to get ready and wrap up with you. But like I said, man, I hope this conversation definitely hits the people that it needs to. I know God will do what God does, and it'll get to the people that it needs to get to. But before we wrap up, I want to ask you a couple questions I normally ask guests that I have on here.
Cool.
You talked a little bit about some of the bands that have influenced you or you're into, but or got you into music. But who would you say are your top 3 artists you're listening to today?
That's a loaded question. Okay. Oh man. Overall, or just like what I'm listening to now?
Right now. Yeah, what you're listening to now.
I mean, right now I'm kind of just jumping in, checking out new artists that I haven't really heard before. I mean, Ice Nine Kills is always a good. They're just releasing new stuff and it's super cool. Who else am I really? I mean, I listen to a lot of video game music. Zelda music. Zelda is my favorite.
Oh, nice. My girlfriend loves Zelda music.
Yeah, Zelda. I mean, if you look, there's Majora's Mask right there, and there's my whole Zelda shelf up there, and I got the board right there. Yeah. Man, what bands though? Oh my gosh. I don't even know. I've been all over the place. I know. Polar opposite. So, the band Spite, they are super anti-God, like to a T. But I know them. Like, I actually know like Darius and Alex, and so it's kind of funny. Like, I love the music. I love the aggression. It just gets me really going. And I know they're about to release some new stuff in fall, so I've been excited to hear that. Again, I just like the music, not the lyrics, even though I love Darius. And then there's another one. I think they're called Without a Face. I think that's it. And they're just brutally heavy, like angry. I love it.
Nice. And then, what class do you feel should be mandatory before graduating high school today?
Taxes.
Yeah.
Class on taxes, because I had no idea what the heck I was doing. I was like, what? How do I even do this? What is this? And then maybe some like class that just has you do like handiwork, like stuff around the house, how to fix an AC or put a window in, or stuff like that. Change your oil. Like,
yeah, man.
Two important ones.
Yeah, taxes and finances are the number one answer I usually get, man. But yeah, I mean, I met, like home ec and stuff. It seems like all that stuff's kind of like gone, and it's everything's just some like online keyboard stuff, and it's just like, what are you gonna do when you don't have,
Right.
So, man. And then who are 3 people who've inspired you and you can credit for making you the person you are today?
Jesus, my dad, my brother. I mean, that's 3 right there. Those are like my 3 main ones, I would say.
Okay. Nice. And then,
my Uncle Mike.
all right. Yeah. Can't forget Uncle Mike. And then, what, like favorite toy as a child?
Favorite toy as a child? Well, it's funny you should say that, because I am a huge nostalgia buff. Like, I'm just a nostalgic geek. So I'm about to show you a little something. So I collect a lot of retro stuff. So like all of this is N64 games. I'm trying to get the whole collection. I got a CRT TV. I got VHSs. But one of the main things that I was really big on as a kid was Spider-Man action figures. And mainly anything with Venom and Carnage. Those are my favorites. So that's pretty much almost like all the toys I had as a kid. Anything Spider-Man and Venom and Carnage. Then there's some more down there. And then the Bowser, and then the Venom and Carnage again. Like anything like that.
I think I recognize some of those, the Secret Wars line figures or whatever. I had those, man.
Yeah, buddy. Anything like that, I just love.
Nice, man. And then any message you have for our military brothers and sisters currently serving overseas?
Oh, okay. Put your head down and push through. Come to know Jesus. Be there for one another. Don't quit.
Awesome, man. Sam, man, thank you so much, dude. This was a great conversation. I needed it.
It was awesome for me as well, dude. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, dude, and we'll definitely do a follow up with the rest of the band at some point. But man, I appreciate you doing this for me, and we'll keep in touch, especially since we're not too far from each other.
All right, we're like neighbors.
Yeah. So
All right.
awesome, man. Well, thank you again, man. Wait, one last favor. Normally, when I have veterans on too, I ask for like a promo ID for them. I have them introduce themselves at the last rank they held. And you're listening to today's Boondoggle. You mind doing that for me?
Okay, so name, rank, and you're listening to today's Boondoggle?
Yes.
Yeah, I can do that. Do you want me to say like Corporal McCartney? Because I mean, that's what I was.
Yeah. Just do that.
All right, cool. Yeah, I can do that. Is it just like right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, what's up, guys? I am Corporal Samuel McCartney, and you are going to be listening to today's Boondoggle. Have fun.
Awesome. Sam, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank
It's good
you.
talking with you.
Thank you.
All right, you take care.
All right, you as well. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Alright! Listen up! Hold on to your seats! Grab your girls, grab your beers!
Hey everybody, this is Charlie from Anthrax, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle.
This is Mark Metcalf, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio.
You are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio. Yes, Kato Kalin listens to this all the time.
Welcome to today's Boondoggle. Now, here's your host.
I am Monty Heath, so one Heath, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle.
Hey, what's up? It's John from Skillet, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle on Domain Cleveland Radio.
Fasten your seatbelts.